How are you? How are you, doll? Come on up here. Narelle, you're helping us out?
I am indeed.
So, how are you feeling up here on stage?
Feeling very excited.
Very excited. Now, you came to Australia when, you guys?
I came to Australia in 2004.
Right.
By myself and left my entire family back home in Zimbabwe.
That must have been tough.
Yeah, it was very challenging because I had never traveled to Australia. I didn't know anyone, and I even didn't know the culture of Australia. And then, it was so challenging getting into a job and, working with people that you don't even know.
Mm. So leaving your family back in Zimbabwe, you have children, you left them back there as well?
Yeah, so I left my wife and 3 kids.
Mm. And how did you feel about that? Kumbhu? No, not Kumbhu.
Yeah, it was very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because we have never parted.
Mm. So were you working back there?
Yes, I was.
Okay, what were you doing?
I was a registered nurse.
Okay, and what's your occupation?
I also work as a registered nurse.
Okay, so you had qualifications, and obviously they were qualifications that Australia was looking for at the time, yeah?
Yes.
And that's how you could come here. So, migrated from Australia to Zimbabwe. On the map, where's Zimbabwe, just for everybody's benefit?
So Zimbabwe is right at the bottom, underneath South Africa, if you can look at the map.
Just there. Now, it's a country that's had a fair bit of turmoil.
Yeah, so I never dreamt of leaving Zimbabwe until there was a lot of political and economic situations that suddenly happened to the country.
So why did you, I know all that's going on, so what was the thing that made you go, I'm going to leave my country, I have to leave my wife and kids there, you got $50 in your pocket. What made you go Australia first of all and really have the courage to go, I have to do this?
So for me, I was looking at getting out of Zimbabwe to any destination. Mm. So I looked at the UK, I did applications in the UK, and then I did applications in Australia as well.
Right.
So Australia was the first to respond,
mm-hmm.
and the applications were actually swift. That's how I ended up in Australia.
Well, we're glad to have you guys. So here you are. That's your entire family, is it?
Yes. So that's my entire family there. My wife and obviously 3 kids.
When you got over here, you worked 2 or 3 jobs.
So to tell the story, so for me to be able to travel and get registration and airfares, I had to sell entirely everything except my family.
That must have been really hard on you, staying behind, and you got nothing.
Yes, it was.
While your husband gallivants around the world.
For sure. As he has said, it was only us, me and my family, who were left in that house.
Wow.
Everything was sold.
Oh, no.
But we knew that he was paving for a better future for us.
Yep. Okay. So you get to Australia, you get a job as a registered nurse?
Yes.
Or not?
Yeah, so before I actually got here, I had got a job already. And, landing to the airport, I didn't know where I was going. I was actually met by someone who had a placard. So,
okay.
So that I was introduced and taken to a destination that I didn't know.
So where did you fly into? Which city?
So I flew straight into New South Wales,
mm-hmm.
into Sydney.
Yeah.
And I was sent to Westmead Public Hospital.
Okay. So at least you didn't have the same experience that my husband had. When he came out here at 22, can't speak English, he got to the airport. He basically threw a dart at Australia to go, where am I going to go? And the dart landed in Adelaide. So,
He needs to learn to aim better. Sorry for all the Adelaideans. I love you all. On the South Australian coast, so I really probably shouldn't make fun of Adelaide.
but
love
if
you all.
if you know South Australia at all, okay, he arrives there. He knows about 10 words in English, right? So he knew the word caravan park, okay? And he's got his tent with him. This is how he comes to Australia, right? Throws a dart and he gets in the taxi and he goes, caravan park. So the taxi driver, here's Adelaide, took him down to Christie's Beach, about 40 miles, down to the furthest caravan park he could find. So at least that didn't happen to you. You were being taken care of on the, when you got to the airport. So then what happened? Your position, since then, you've obviously done well. What was the year that you came?
So I came in 2004.
Yep.
And then after that, after securing my first job, I then made sure I had a couple of jobs because I needed to raise airfares for my family to come here.
Yep.
And my family joined me in 2005, which was the following year.
Great.
And my wife obviously couldn't get a job because she wasn't experienced enough. So, but once the family joined me and my wife had a job, she also was working 2 to 3 jobs. So when she was coming in, I was going out. And it was really very frustrating. And our kids were very small. So we made sure there was someone at home to look after them all the time. But fortunately, we didn't divorce.
You didn't have any more kids, though, either, because you're kind of just kissing each other at the door as you leave.
Exactly right, yes.
Okay. So it's only a year later, then, that you've got enough money to buy your own home.
So because we were working so hard and we knew what we wanted, so in 2006, 2 years into Australia, we bought our first home so that our family could grow up in a nice environment.
And then you lost your job.
And then there was GFC that hit.
Yep.
You never think that a nurse would lose a job, but it actually happened to me. And it was so severe that I totally lost my job.
How long were you out of work?
So I was off work for 3 months.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, and then after that, I ended up getting another job in Tasmania. So I had to leave my family again and travel to Tasmania.
This is the story of doing what you got to do, whatever it takes. So you're working in Tasmania, you've still got a job in Sydney,
Yes.
and you've got the house this time.
Yes.
And furniture, I hope. Okay, so 2010, a couple of years rock by, you get over that. When do you get back to Sydney?
So I was in Tasmania the entire 2008-9.
Right.
I came back to Sydney in 2010.
Okay, and that's when you bought an investment property.
So then we had a lot of debt. We had car loans, we had credit cards, and so by me being in Tasmania, because I was by myself, I made sure that apart from my own job, I had several jobs to keep me occupied. So I made so much money that we managed to pay the debt for the car and the credit cards. And then we had surplus money left for us to buy our first investment property.
So that went into savings, you bought your investment property. Now, you've gone into negative gearing. What was the influence there?
We actually went to a birthday party and everyone there was talking about buying properties. And then we felt we had lost. The following week, without knowledge, without anything, we didn't know what we were doing. And we went into a suburb that we didn't even know. And we purchased a house purely through peer pressure. So the house that we bought were over market value.
Yeah, and negatively geared.
And it was heavily negatively geared.
Okay. So this was your starting position. Your investment property is costing you 20 grand a year, and obviously you're working 2 and 3 jobs just to pay the mortgages and pay down debts and all those sort of things. You've got your home. Obviously that's gone up a little bit in value by this stage. You've got a little bit of equity in there as well, but you've got credit card and car loans.
Yes.
So what made you find I Love Real Estate?
So what actually happened there is we wanted to buy a third property. So that's when we realized that we couldn't borrow anymore. And the investment property that we bought was cross-collateralized with our home, which was a very big mistake again. So when we wanted to buy the third property, the bank said, well, you don't have money, we have to value both properties. And, you know, there's no way you can actually do this. So that was the light bulb moment.
Okay, so you came to a one-dayer in 2013.
So a friend of mine invited me to come to a one-day event in Parramatta. And I was very, very inspired by you being authentic and the way you presented yourself. And the voice was very vibrating.
Thank you for that. I've had a lot of comments about my voice, and that's not one of them that I've had. Especially from my kids.
So, but the mistake I made again was I left my wife at home. So, but I was so pumped up that I ended up getting into a credit card debt again without telling my wife.
So you joined the course. Now, how did you feel when he came home and said, I'm going to do this course?
Yeah, when he told me that he has used the credit card, I was so angry because I just said, there you go again. After that negatively geared property, I can't even say.
But you took action. So what was the action that you took?
So the first action was to involve my wife. Obviously, I had to take her to I had to take her to a 3-day boot camp.
Yep.
And after she heard the success stories from other students, she really loved it.
You did?
I did. I said, there we are. We've got it now.
So thereafter, we made sure we engaged ourselves in education. So pretty much we went through all the study manuals. We listened to podcasts. We went to every single event. We enrolled into all of your courses, starting from the smallest to the highest. And and then after that, because of that knowledge, we then went on to sell that negatively geared property.
Okay. So then you started to repurchase, did you?
Yeah, so again, I know some of these properties that we're going to show you might not be your strategies, but we just wanted to start somewhere. So our first property was...
a build?
It was a house and land package.
Yep.
We had a lot of experience there, just experiencing how to engage builders and how to go through the entire process. So the land again was very cheap. The build was very cheap. And then we sold it and we made a profit of 265K. That was quite cool.
So how did you feel about that?
Oh, I felt so good. And I just said, go for another one.
So maybe you did make the right decision signing you up on that credit card. Okay, so deal number 2.
So this is the thing. Now, because we're armored with a lot of knowledge, we're not only investing next door. So we started looking at interstate. We looked at a number of areas, and we purchased this as an off-plan townhouse in Townsville. Again, that's not one of your strategies, Demfna, but we thought it was worthwhile after done a bit of research. So the purchase price was $385, and it was appraised at $465 at completion. We are still keeping that property there, and it's actually renting $340 a week.
So it would be looking after itself. It'd be kind of, it'd be neutral.
Yeah, so you can see myself there excited and, looking at what I had achieved.
Good, very good. So deal number 3?
So deal number 3 again, and you look at the time frame. So now nothing was actually stopping us. We were investing whenever we wanted. So it was another off-the-plan townhouse purchase. And that one, we kept it for a while, but we realized it was sort of neutral. So we ended up selling it, but we got 40K profit out of it.
Okay. Then what did you do?
And then now we became more and more adventurous. Now we started using your strategies. So as you can see there, now we ended up with not only one strategy. In a single deal, we could use 1, 2, 3, or 4 strategies. So this was a purchase again. It was a run-down house on a block of land. And we managed to do a cosmetic renovation. And we added a grand flat to it. It was doing quite well, but we just flipped it because we wanted cash to do better deals. Okay. So we ended up getting 143K profit out of it.
Okay. So at this point, you're obviously making money on the side. What's happening with your work? You're doing 1 job, 2 jobs, or no jobs?
So by then, we were still working 2 jobs each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what year are we? We're in 2014. All right. So then what happened?
So now, this was really a very big stepping stone. And we started looking at infill sites. So most of our developments that we do now are on infill sites.
Good.
So we identify a house on a block of land, and we go on to add 1, 2, 3, or whatever is actually allowed there. So this deal was one of those deals that we purchased for $425. And as you can see there, we added 3 units at the back. We renovated the front house, and then it cost us all 1.3, and we sold at 1.8, and we made a cool 500K profit out of it.
Now you're talking. Deal number 6. So we're now in 2015.
So again, this is a run-down townhouse, but when I saw this one, I could see money everywhere. So I went on to inspect that. It was a family that they were really desperate. They wanted to move out of the house because the husband was very sick. So they wanted $275 for it. We negotiated down to $265. The only thing we did on that house was pretty much painting and replacing the carpets. So we spent $10K on that. And surprisingly, it was valued for $400K. And the profit there was just something that we couldn't believe. And we are still keeping that property because it is positively geared by 5.7.
Very good. So you're starting to accumulate now.
Yeah.
Deal number 7.
So now we thought, why not try interstate? So this deal is in Brisbane. It's a nice suburb called Camp Hill. So I will tell you a story about this later. You know, some of these deals you may say everything was swift, but some of these things we went through were quite horrific. But we managed to do something about this. So to cut the story short, this was a house sitting on the center of the block. The land size was 879. We managed to subdivide and create 2 lots and build 2 5-bedroom homes. So the purchase price is $795, and then we built the 2 homes. We sold one, we kept the other one, we converted it into a 1B building, and it's actually rented room by room at $1,080 per week.
So you got 24 positive cash flow on that one.
Yes.
That's pretty good. So you're still working 2 jobs each?
No, now everything was looking nice. So I then cut down to 4 days a week, and my wife cut down to 5 days a week.
Oh! You're tough, I tell you. All right, deal number 8. We'll keep going.
So this is our PPR that we bought in 2006, and we thought, what can we do to that? So there was a swimming pool at the back. I think the swimming pool is not reflected there. So instead of spending money on the cost of a swimming pool, we demolished the swimming pool and put a 2-bedroom grand flat. And it's actually rented and it's bringing in 20K a year.
Very good. So you live there still?
Yes, we still live there, and we've got a very nice tenant that doesn't want to move.
Okay. So that's your long-time home at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So deal number 9. What are we up to here?
So deal number 9, this one is we purchased a block of land, and we are going to, DA has been approved to build a duplex. So if you look at the duplex there, it's a 4-bedroom duplex. So we are going to rent 550 each. So that is going to bring 1,100 a week. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be 15K positive cash flow. So we are starting that build by January 2020.
And that's a keeper?
Yes, we are actually keeping that one, yeah.
Okay, very good. And what suburb are we in here? We're in Sydney, are we?
Yes, this one is in Albion Park.
Okay, yep. Deal number 10.
So now, as you can see, now with all that experience, we have started engaging other students from either I Love Real Estate or any other investors. So we started doing joint venture deals. Mm-hmm. So this is a nice joint venture deal where, as you can see, there's another infill site. There's an existing house already there. So there's a nice driveway to the back, and we are going to build 2 townhouses at the back. Mm-hmm. So we will renovate the front house, and those are the projected profits. And this project is actually starting as well in January 2020.
So you're still working 4 days a week?
No, I am now working 3 days a week.
And how many are you working, dear?
I'm still working 5 days a week.
So look,
you're going to start doing something about this.
Definitely.
You know, the reason why my wife is still working 5 days a week and I'm working 3 days a week is because she's more into finance, so she manages all the finances. I do all the running, I do all the due diligence, so I need more time. And also, and also because we have got other projects that we haven't finished, that's why she's still working 5 days a week.
All right.
But as you can see, we had a peg in the sand, and we are all gonna stop working by June 2020.
Very good. So deal number 11. We're getting a bit bigger here.
So this is another joint venture deal. You know, it's not big numbers there. The purchase price is not too big. So there's an existing house, as you can see as well. We are going to build four units, 1 at the front and 3 at the back. And because we are managing the entire site from acquisition to sales, so there's a projected profit of 320, which we are going to share with the money partner, and it will be a 50-50 share.
Very good. So this is all done in, what year did you come? 2004?
I came in 2004,
yeah.
But investing I started in 2013.
Okay. So we've had 9 years of investing. You stuffed around a little bit to start with and got yourself organised, got your family over here before you thought, well, maybe I need some education in this one. And then you really kind of got going. I mean, you did a little bit of whatever you could to get going to start with, but then really started to implement the strategies and, you know, you're powering.
Yes, so nothing really stops us now. So apart from that, we have engaged our kids as well.
Good.
They have seen what we are doing. So as you
How old are they now?
So I've got 3, but the 19-year and the 24-year-old, they have come together, they've raised money
Good.
and purchased this property here, which
Excellent.
is positively geared before they even build 2 units at the front.
Excellent, excellent. So they're implementing the strategies as well. This is what I want to see. Okay, then they're going ahead with that. What's this property buys? They're actually sourcing properties, are they?
So now we are actually we are working as a buyer's agent. So a number of investors and other students have been coming to us that they can't find sites. They don't have time. They've got the money, but sometimes they can't even manage the site. So that's why we set this company to help other students and other like-minded investors. So we specialize in positive cash flow properties as well as instant equity properties.
And the fundraising that you're doing here for cerebral palsy, what's the attraction specifically to that particular cause?
So what really attracted me to this was I was overweight and I didn't do much exercise. So once a year in September, I am involved in a fundraising for children that have got cerebral palsy. So a child is born in Australia every 15 hours with cerebral palsy, and I think there was someone who presented on that yesterday.
Yeah.
They need a lot of equipment like wheelchairs, walking aids, and all those things. So every year I cover about 10,000 steps per day for the entire month, and then I send emails to friends and relatives, and this year we raised 1,500 towards that.
Good, very good. So from working 3 jobs to 3 days a week, and by June you said next year, you're done.
Yes, so pretty much I am reducing my working rate by 1 day every 4 months. So
You're lucky you're in a profession that you can do that.
Yes, for me, nursing has been my profession throughout, but I've realized, you know, I can be a nurse, that's fine. I'm actually helping other people, but I'm not helping myself either. So by so doing, that's why I am strategically dropping a day now and again until I am into 0. But this was a peg in the sand that we had, and we wanted to get 50,000 cash, equity that we could spend anytime, anywhere that we wanted. And the other peg in the sand was to be able to stand on stage with Demphna, which we have done.
So your final results then, you've gone from, how much did you come over with? $20 or
$50.
You came over here with $50, and look at your portfolio now. I mean, from the values that you've got there, the equity, $1.4 million, cash flow of whatever that adds to, $60,000, and increasing.
Yes, so in our job as a buyer's agent, we thought we were going to make around 50K a year, but so far, when I wrote that slide there, we were at 80, and as of yesterday, we are at 120. So we have already surpassed that. So that's why we are almost there, replacing our incomes. And for the joint venture deals, we have already surpassed our target. And so in total, we purchased 14 properties within a space of 6 years. And we sold the properties and raised 948K. So we are truly going ahead and fulfilling our dreams.
So it was a good move to come here.
Yes, it was.
So some of the learnings along the way.
So I think most of the students have been talking about that. For me, I think it's all about a mindset issue. Sometimes you believe you can't do it, but once you start doing what you have learned, there's no perfection. You can't wait and say this is the right time. So start implementing the knowledge that we have learned, and remain yourself, remain humble. Do not change your behavior because you've got money. And we are measured by time. The more time you lose, we are getting old each day. So it's a learning journey for us, and we are still learning. We have met a lot of students. We are still learning from other students. And the sky is the limit, and definitely I think this is the right forum for everyone to really make success.
Thank you very much. Give these guys a big, big round of applause. Well done. Well done. Well done, Dal.